My goodness, something's got these dogs going this morning like crazy. Alright. Let's grab this bucket right here. My goodness. Yep, that'll do. That's a good looking bucket. It's cracked, I know, but that's perfect for how I want to have it. Good morning, y'all. Happy Sunday. A little later in the morning than I wanted it to be to get out here and do some harvesting. It's kind of chilly this morning, to be honest. That and I injured my back yesterday, early morning time frame, so I've been trying to take it easy. But after taking some ibuprofen and some CBD rub on my back, just muscle rub, don't worry, it's nothing that'll make you piss hot on a test, which is good because I got a test tomorrow for work. Well, I'm not supposed to know that, but I do. But yeah, after a little bit of that, after a good amount of rest, doing better. So we're going to do something new that we haven't done in time past. We've lived here for about 7 to 8 years now. Hold on, let me pop this open. Sorry, the angle's bad, I know. So about 7 to 8 years ago, we moved into this place, and not knowing that there were black walnuts on the edge of the property. So that's what I'm going to do today. We're going to harvest these black walnuts because people say they're great to eat. Apparently, wild black walnuts here in the south are very good for you, very healthy. So we're going to experiment with that. I did bring gloves because I don't want to leave any stains. You could technically leave the husks and holes. I call them husks. Some people call them holes, whatever you want to call them. In a bucket with water, and you can make your own stain. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just gonna harvest the nuts. First time doing it. You know, make it easy. Just get the nut for now. But it'll be probably a long step process. But for today, we're gonna harvest and clean them and put them up to dry. Come on. But first, coffee. I'll take it. Nice, quiet, kind of crisp morning. Minus those dogs a few minutes ago. I heard some birds. You hear the birds, they're making this cute little noise. Super cute. Sorry, getting distracted here. It is fall, so the birds are absolutely loving it. Squirrels are coming out and about. I know the camera doesn't really do it justice with just how beautiful it is. Most of the leaves in the woods have fallen, but there's still a decent amount of color. But let's go along and show you what I'm looking for. These are the black walnuts, by the way. The really tall ones right here. You can kind of see. And then, of course, now that I'm filming, there goes the dogs. Going off, not our dogs. So, this here is essentially what we're looking for. With it a little, gives it a little give. So all we're going to do, some people squash them and some people drive over them. Why are those dogs got to make all that ruckus? But this like liquid, pulpy liquid here is what makes the dye, what makes it turn dark color. This is a black walnut variety, by the way, in case I didn't say. But this is one thing that Jerrid likes, is foraging and gathering and all that kind of stuff. It's fun. Oh man, that smells just incredibly good. But yeah, still kind of green, still kind of wet. That's alright, we're gonna rinse them and dry them. But first one in the bucket. Cool. This here essentially is not one that we want. You can see it's really old and kind of rotten. It's probably one of the first ones that fell. Although, actually, that still feels pretty solid. Man, those dogs are losing their minds. I'll tell you what, here's what we're going to do. Instead of trying to pick all the holes off one-handed, we're just going to load the bucket full of them, and then I will crush the holes off of them over on the front steps, or somewhere where I can, yeah, because that's not the easiest thing to do. Of course, right as I'm filming, these dogs just have to lose their minds, right? That's how it goes. But let me load up the bucket, get them going, and yeah. Ooh, that one's really stained. Ooh, oh yeah. So here's really cool. So y'all might think this is gross, but these little maggots, I've been reading about them and learning about them. They are what cause the, like the hole to break down, make it turn black, make it to where the nuts are fully exposed. But you can see it's loaded full of them. So the birds are gonna love them, I'm sure. Some of y'all might be super grossed out by it, but it's okay. That's okay. It's all part of it. Yeah, you can see it's already staining the gloves. That's cool. Alright, let me get harvesting, and I will show you what we got in the end. Alright, y'all, as you can see, I got about, before it is dehulled or dehusked, I have about, maybe 2 gallons. Not a lot. There is clearly a lot more out there. But Jerrid, when he's learning something new, never wants to take all of what's out there. Because obviously these are things that the birds and the squirrels and such need to survive. So I don't ever want to take all of them just as I'm learning. Maybe in the future, you know, a couple years from now, I might go out and get as much as I can. But since I am just learning, and I'm learning whether or not I want to do this, I'm not going to take every single one of them. You know, I'm going to be a little more cautious, a little more generous to the animals and nature and out there, and that'll just be what that is. So, alright, I'm going to dehusk all these now and try and not go crazy doing them. Alright, so all I'm doing is just leaving them. Once I take the husk off, I'm just leaving them in there. I'm going to take these other ones, kind of roll it out. Yeah, it might stain the deck a little bit, but that's okay. We still got to put stain on the deck, so I'm okay with that. But essentially, that's what you want. That's how you want it to be. You get this whole entire husk, and the animals will eat the husks. So I'll throw them back out there, but that's all I'm doing, just rolling them out. Some people drive over them. I've heard that's not a good idea because you could actually crack the shell, and then when you go to rinse it and dry it, it ends up molding and getting ruined. I mean, people have been doing it for a while, so, you know, to each their own. But that's as simple as that is. That's all I'm doing. I'm just ripping it out. Yeah, so you can see the maggots I was showing you earlier. Are definitely getting to the husks. They don't go in the nuts, from my understanding. They only eat the husk, which is okay to me. I don't care about that. Some people might get grossed out by it. I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, these ones here are a little easier to get cleaned off. Don't really got to drive over them or anything. They're still pretty solid. As I was putting them in the bucket, I was kind of stepping on them, so it was a little easier for me to peel. But that's what I did with the first couple. I just stepped it off with the boot heel, and yeah. We're gonna have one little tiny black walnut stained piece of wood right here on the step. Jerrid still has not gotten around to staining and sealing the deck. I need to, but all the money we have right now, I'm mostly trying to get to, well, one, we're getting June's car paid off. We only got another, I think it's $2,000 on her car. So, yay to that. Slowly working on getting ourselves out of debt. The car and the credit card are pretty much the only things we have left. Minus the mortgage, right? Obviously, we still have the mortgage. But not horrible on the mortgage. We're working on getting that down, too. Eventually. But, yeah, once we get the car and the credit card off, we're still slowly trying to set, yeah, see, look at the maggots right there. That's kind of cool. Slowly setting some aside for the roof. I was hoping to be able to get to the roof before the end of the year. However, it's looking like it's probably going to be spring or late winter before that gets put on. Got everything priced out. Me doing it myself is about $35. We're expecting $35 is material. Obviously nothing counts for labor because I'm doing it myself. I'm not paying someone 10 grand to put a roof on when I can easily do it. Some people say that's probably not a good idea. However, Jerry likes doing stuff himself. And if I can do it right, I'm not worried about it. Some of y'all might be thinking back to a little patch job I did with the tar on the roof. And you're going, man, you freaked out while up there. I didn't freak out. It was just a ladder. It's the ladder, man. I just hate ladders. I don't know. I just really don't like ladders. They bug me. So I'll probably end up getting some scaffolding. One bucket. Get the maggots off of it. There we go. They'll come off in the washing process. But yeah, I'm gonna get some scaffolding. But before all of that, our next major project is building the wood shed so we can get this tarp shed gone. We absolutely need it gone here soon. We really, so this got a little give, but we absolutely do not want this tarp shed over the winter. We want it gone. I'm expecting a really cold winter, a lot of ice, probably a good amount of snow. I've been calling it since the middle of the summer, even before the almanac came out and said, expect a cold winter, or all the people with the persimmon seeds or nuts or whatever the hell you want to call them. I've been saying, it's going to be cold. I've been saying it all year long. We were due for one. We got to get the wood that we've gathered. We got to get that in a new shed. And yeah, gotta get that done. So that's our next major project, is the woodshed. And while I was back there harvesting these, you might have seen the black weed barrier fabric, whatever you want to call it. You might have seen that back there. That's where it's going. Right back in the corner, kind of out of the way. I purposely am tucking it back behind the fence, but you're still able to access it from the yard, kind of like the shed. I'm purposely putting it back there because I knew originally when we put up the fence, I wanted, you know, stuff like a shed and things to go back behind there. However, oh, it smells heavenly. It almost smells like citrus. You know, it smells good. But yeah, so as I was saying, I knew that I wanted it back there. I just didn't want to take up any yard space to have a shed and whatever. So I'm looking forward to having this little bit of yard space back. June and I are probably going to install some garden beds here on the side of the deck so that it gets morning sun. And we'll probably put, ooh, perfect. That worked out perfectly. Probably put some leafy greens and things like that that need the morning sun but don't fare so well in the afternoon heat. But that's my goal anyway. That's the plan. I know I'm kind of rambling right now, I apologize, but that's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. And actually sitting on this step like this is actually helping my back. Kind of twisting. Not really twisting, but almost like those old like public school desks. Like chairs that used to lean back and pop your back all perfectly. Kind of what it feels like. And Jerrid built this right. Yes. Ooh. Yeah, we're going to take the husks off. We're going to rinse them real well. And then I might probably let them soak for a day or so. And rinse them again, dry them out, all that sort. There's a guy not too far from here who has some pecan trees in his front yard, and Jerrid loves pecans. Yeah, he does. Jerrid loves pecan pie mostly, but I love eating just fresh pecans right off the ground. So I asked him if I could gather some. He's perfectly fine with it, and he's still had plenty up in his tree. The pecans haven't quite fallen for the year yet. They slowly drop over time. They're not like a all-at-once kind of thing. So I gathered what I could, stuck them in a little wire nut bag, and brought them home. But I was sitting out there cracking them open, taking a bite, and all that. This one's fighting me. This one don't want to work. I got a feeling this one's going to be a floater. So, a floater, what I mean by that is you get all the nuts in the bucket of water while they're soaking. Any of that float you scoop out, because those ones are hollow or something's already in it. So you definitely don't want those ones. You want the ones that sink because they're heavy and they got meat. So, and by meat, I mean the nut meat, right? Not actual meat. Some people get confused. Wow, that's gonna look so pretty. I don't know, I might save these husks and stain these stairs all the way. It's looking pretty already. A nice walnut look to it. And maybe eventually, if, oh yeah, look at those maggots. Look at that, look at how dark that is. So it makes like a black, like pulpus kind of look. And kind of stain the wood there. Let me see if I can do that. Obviously. So what you would do is you would take these husks, let them rot, stick them in the water, and come out with a black look, blackish brown look. Ooh, that'd be pretty. Yeah, anyway. Always fun to learn and experiment with new things, especially when you have the trees and stuff around to do it. Like the pecans, I would love to grow pecans in the front yard now that we had to take that tree down. But I got a feeling, I doubt I'll ever see any pecans from it. June and I don't necessarily want to live here the rest of our lives. I'd really like to be buying some property. But, ooh, this one's fighting me a little bit. But while we're here, might as well enjoy what we got. Alright, I'm probably going to cut the video here. Get these done. That one was easy. That one might be a floater. And just keep going. But Thanks for staying tuned. I'm going to show you what we got at the end once I rinse them and see if we got any floaters, and we'll toss them. But keep watching. Alright, y'all. So, I don't know if y'all can see that, but we got, I wouldn't say more than a gallon of them. I'd probably guess about 50, maybe. I took my gloves off, so I gotta be careful I don't stain my hands. But all I'm doing now is I'm just giving them a quick rinse. And this bucket does have a crack at the bottom. Look at that color coming out of there. It's straight black. Almost looks like coffee. I wonder. I'm just rinsing it real quick. Give it a stir up here. I'm just giving them their first quick rinse. This is obviously not how they're going to stay. They are going to be put in a bucket of floating water for a bucket of floating water. A bucket's not going to be floating. They are going to be put in a bucket of water. One, to see if we have any floaters, which it kind of looks like we do already, which is okay. I wasn't expecting all of them to be perfect, but doing this, if you have a crack in the bottom of your bucket, making sure you're wearing a pair of, oh God, hold on, stretch break. Make sure you're wearing a pair of good sized boots. This side don't matter, but good boots that you don't mind getting ruined or anything. That's not bad for a first rinse. I like it. Alright, let's put it in a bucket that doesn't have any holes in it. Nice fresh bucket. I would say clean. It's not clean, but it don't matter. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Oh goodness. Oh, can't bend down like that. My back's killing me. So some people, as soon as they get a bucket that's got cracks in it, they toss it. Sometimes it's beneficial to have a bucket that's got some holes in it. You know? Not always, but sometimes. Sometimes. But all I'm doing is floating this. Floating these nuts. I'm hoping they don't float. I don't want any of that float horribly. But I'll come out at about the 24-hour mark, check this bucket, replace the water, and then I'll probably run it another 24 hours. But essentially running it to where the water is, I don't want to say clear, but clear, you know. And then after that, it's coming up on a drying rack. Let them dry out. Some people dehydrate them. Some people crack them while they're still fresh and wet. However, a guy that I've been watching, again, on YouTube, man, look at that. That water is black as can be. Good Lord. I probably should have left the gloves on to do this part, but oh well. Alright, so as you can see, we got a couple floating already. I'll just have stained fingers. It looks like we got 2 floaters already. That's alright. That means those are probably no good, so we're going to chuck them out of there. My hand's already starting to turn colors. That's funny. Let's see if we can agitate. Ooh, let's not do that on the deck. I was going to say, maybe the weight of the other ones are holding down any other floater, so let's come out here a little bit. Give it a good old shaky shake. Agitate it. Let's dump this water. Look at that. Whoo! That's as black as can be. Almost looks like motor oil. Oil. That's right, I said oil. I'm from the south now. That's not bad. Oh, that's not a bad little haul. Not bad at all. So out of that whole lot, only two were floaters. I like it. Let me see if I can get any more floaters out. So I'm gonna fill it again, agitate it around. Like I said, the fresh ones might have been weighing down the, you know what, let me put this on full so it don't take as long. Like I was saying, the fresh ones might be weighing down the older ones that float, so that's why I wanted to agitate it a little bit. I'll probably rinse it out, I don't know, 3 or 4 times, and then it'll sit. But yeah. Alright y'all, let me show you how I'm doing this, right? All it is, 5-gallon bucket, hose on jet setting or whatever. Oh man, I don't know if I can do this one-handed. But I'm just lifting it up a little bit. Just spraying them off. And the water run off. This works great for just a handful. But you're just rinsing them, rotating them through. You can see a lot of that meat from the husk is coming off, or the hole is coming off, whatever you want to call it. Every so often, hit the bucket up, spray directly on them. And I'm just tipping it again. Ooh, no! I lost a couple. It's a little hard to do one-handed. Anyway, but what I'm doing, just tipping it down, letting some of the water run off. As it's running off, you start to come back down, and you start spraying it again. That's what you're doing. Alright y'all, so real quick, before we go into our short 24-hour break, let me see if I can film this without my reflection. The water is decently clear. You can see the nuts down in there. That's essentially how clear you want the water. When I come back in 24 hours, I'm expecting it to be a lot darker. Almost like that dark, kind of dark tea, coffee looking when we first put it in. My goodness, has my hair been like that the whole video? Oh, Lord, I hope it's not that bad. Anyway, so it's going to set aside. I'm going to set it in the sunny spot. It's going to get sun for pretty much the rest of the day. Tomorrow when I get home from work, I'll probably empty it. Or I might, before bed, come in, empty it, refill it. But essentially that's what it looks like. That's how you want it to look before you go to let it soak. So, again, stay tuned. 1 minute, we'll be right back. And yeah. Alright, y'all. So as you can see, water's pretty darn clear. They've been soaking for about 24 hours. I gotta dump it. As you can tell, it is raining. So that's about as clean as you're gonna get it. Look at that. Wow. Alright. The question is, do we want to give them another 24 hours? Or do we call it good? I don't know. They're pretty clean. I think we're gonna call it. Yeah. Maybe. Yeah, they're pretty clean. Alright, well. Good stuff. We're gonna, I would say set them out to dry, but it's pouring rain out, so I'm gonna leave them here till it stops raining, and then we're gonna lay them out to dry somewhere. Alright y'all, as you can see, it is raining for the second day in a row, which is okay. I ain't gonna complain. Oh wow, no kidding, that's all just rain in the bucket there with the walnuts. That's wild. Ooh, really dark this time. It wasn't nearly as dark yesterday, but we're gonna drain that out, and we're gonna lay these out to dry. And how I'm gonna do that, Can't really do this one-handed very easily. Alright. That's our little bucket. I'm going to lay them out flat, and we're going to let them dry for a couple weeks. And then I will make another video when we go to cracking them. Alright everyone, so as you can see, we are dry. It has been approximately, about a week and a half. Not horrible, they are very hard. I tried busting them open with just a basic nut cracker, like a hand cracking nut cracker, with like little 2 prongs that you pinch together. Did not work very well. Black walnuts have an extremely hard shell, so I need to get a black walnut cracker to actually get these open, or I might just have fun with a hammer and just go to town. So, don't know yet. Alright y'all, so after about 20 minutes of trying to bust one of these suckers open, it is look at the walls on that, they're super thick. Finally got the walnut meat, wild black walnut. Never done it before, first time ever. Super excited. Got a couple of small pieces, but that's okay. I'm gonna try it for the first time to see what happened, but I think black walnuts need to be renamed Fort Knox of nuts, truthfully, because they are really thick, very hard to get into. I'm definitely gonna get a press before I attempt it, but not bad for the first one. Let's try it. First time ever trying it. See what it tastes like. Mmm. Hmm. Hmm. Sweet. Definitely sweet. Not what I was expecting. I'm almost getting a, definitely very meaty in texture. I hate to say it, but I'm almost getting like a turpentine kind of taste, which is horrible, I know. I think what I'm gonna do is crack these open. Probably run them through the dehydrator and use them that way, or I think if they're cooked, they'll probably be better. Like I'm thinking like I don't know why, but this just popped into my head. Like Asian, like a walnut kind of meal. I don't know, not bad. I mean, for the first time ever trying it, it really is actually, it's quite good. But I definitely, I don't know, it might just be the tannins, but it does give kind of almost like a turpentine kind of taste. I mean, it's not horrible, but it's still a good little chunk. Yeah, definitely very meaty. I mean, it's a good bite. I don't know. I mean, like, it's not bad. I mean, I think they would taste better if they were cooked into something. for sure. Like, I don't think I'd go and eat the entire bundle raw like this, but yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting flavor. To my knowledge, I've never had wild black walnut, so honestly, that's probably exactly how it's supposed to taste. But yeah, it's really good. I think the only thing that would really make it worth eating would be if it was a survival situation I absolutely had to. Or if I had like a press or something to be able to pop it open easier. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these soak before trying to break them open, make them a little softer, presumably, maybe, I don't know. But, yeah, they're not bad, but thanks for coming along with me. This will conclude this video. I don't think I'll add one, a clip or anything up of getting a press and pressing them out, but not bad, absolutely. For being a free, wildly foraged nut, that's not bad. I say wildly foraged, just behind the house, but we didn't plant it, and they're native here, so, you know, wildly foraged, essentially, but not bad. You get just about the same amount of meat as you do a shell, just the shells are very hard. So, thanks for coming along. If y'all have ever had black walnuts, definitely let me know what you think. If you guys have ever grown a walnut tree or anything like that, or just harvested walnuts for fun, I definitely recommend, I encourage everyone to try something new. And this is one of the things in the fall that I'm trying new. So, don't forget to hit that like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think.